Don't play hard to see.
That's right.
That's right. Welcome to another exciting episode.
I don't know how much of that is grubby fingers and how much is
No, I'm
the
just
sun.
talking like we're cut in half right there by the sun.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So, all right.
And actually, yeah, we might have to do a rethink because the sun's going to get lower and lower.
Yeah, we'll do all that.
I was just telling you now.
All right,
So we remember.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So,
Welcome you guys to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun for all on
all these good places.
16th of March 2024. And it's your manifesting question. Sorry, your
This is great.
manifesting.
I'm learning her how to speak.
I know.
It's your manifesting questions answered live.
It is.
Tony,
Hello,
Joe, all these cool kids. Don't
So,
play hard to
There's a
get.
bit we can't see, and
I can
yeah.
see.
To go like that, I can see like that.
That just looks dumb.
Oh, Emma.
Lisa
dumb.
and LaRock.
Hello.
That's right. So, Victoria.
Hello, Emma. Yes.
Doobie bop bop doo.
So where are we telling them to go?
Go to identitybasedmanifesting.com.
Yes, I can see. I started having a little tiny preview.
Yep, she started peeking ahead.
And I can see a lot of them are based around being identity-based
That's right.
manifesting.
.com.
Yes.
That's right. So, Victoria.
Yes.
All right, shall we?
We shall. So
All right.
we're going to dive in with the first question.
But we'll do it in a moment because you can also visit how to. That ain't going to work, babe.
No, I know.
No.
Got ya.
So you can also go to howtofeelitreal.com and sign up for the free goodies there. If you haven't done that yet, do that, right? Put some skin in your game. But meanwhile, Victoria.
You appear to digress, but yeah, okay, got you.
That's right. I've got my world-famous
All right.
Reddington hat on. It needs, look at that, bent a little bit.
So the first question today is from Cindy in Manifesting Mastery. How to manifest a special person, the truth.
All right.
And Cindy asks, please explain once more about the whole special person deal. 1, why it does not work. 2, why in fact is it a middle. And 3, not the end.
All right. So, ready? Let's dive in. Now, I cannot say that it doesn't work. I've not met all 8 billion people on the planet. But I will tell you something. It is definitely the superhighway to hell for most people that I talk to. Because what happens is you start with the whole thing of like, I'm going to make her mine. She's got no free will, all that bullshit.
Oh, it's hell.
People just go nuts and freaky about this. And then they wonder why the person they're trying to manifest runs like they're nuts and freaky. Right? Because it's like, radio. I mean, if I came over and she was basically trying to explain to me I have no free will and I'm hers, I'd be going, radio. I'm going to go get some cigarettes. Right?
See ya. Yeah.
So, but here's the fun thing, because I do get emails from people that are special person coaches, and they tell me I manifested my special person 3 times, and I said, well, is that the same person or 3 different ones? It just gets nuts.
Yeah.
But let's go to number 2. Why is it in fact a middle? Now, here's the thing. As soon as I make her mine, so now she occupies a location in my life. Right, so step number 1, deny she has free will, make her mine. Right? Now, once I make her mine, now I have to make her do specific things to make me happy at specific times. And it just goes freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
I really get that even if you live like that and then all of a sudden you were in a relationship with that special person, that I really get that it's the end. It's the feeling of wanting to be loved, feel loved, be in a loving relationship, all of that, which is really what the end is all about.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no,
It's nothing to do with the special person.
Neville said, don't make it about a specific person. And I know someone's going to argue with me about this, and guess what? I have free will and I don't care. Right?
Yeah.
But you know, in the end, Neville said, look, what do you want? You want to be happily married. If he died today, what would you do? Someone else, right? Now, here's the cool thing. Neville says to imagine up a rich, fulfilling life. And let them be a part of it. And since we're imagining it's all action of self-predominant. And this is why howtomanifestlove.com is centered around one thing. Okay, but still get it. It's $20. One thing.
Yes.
I imagine her happy. if I actually want to be in a relationship with her, I don't imagine she doesn't exist. I don't imagine she doesn't have free will. I don't imagine she's a fucking robot. I don't imagine that she's, made of plastic.
Yeah.
What I imagine is her happy because I give a shit. And there's the biggie. And in How to Manifest Love, we've got 4 or 5 hidden steps. But one of the other steps in there, and this is going to sound profound, imagine you happy.
Yeah.
Because when I can imagine me happy, I'm not blaming her for my happiness. And let's be honest, you've been in relationships before.
I have.
And relationships.
I have.
And when a relationship becomes a relationship,
it's not fun.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, it almost always happens because you have to make me happy. You're not making me happy. And then
it's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
Right?
You just did what I say.
If you'd only do what I want you to do, when I want you to do, how I want you to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then are we actually having a relationship, if that was the case, with another person?
Yeah,
or
a
just with
checklist.
ourselves?
It's a checklist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, got it.
All right. So we will get back to this. Ready for a twist. Yeah, you get different updates on your thing than I do.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. So we will go back to this.
Yeah, we'll refer back to this, but it's just good fun. Tabitha. What showed up today? Oh, show tunes. It's
Oh, you were.
I was all
them.
show tuny this morning.
Were.
That's pretty rare, right? Circus music. Whenever I go into da 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 da, that means people are gonna die, right? Just always know that if we're ever out in public and whatever, and I start da 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 da. But whenever I go into show tunes, it's a completely different experience. So,
Cool.
Side note. Alessandra, we could have a discussion about that. But you should have heard me. Was I great with show tunes this morning?
You were.
It was fabulous.
I didn't know the tunes you were singing.
That's because they were spontaneous and instantaneous.
Showy.
Yes, it was very
you
showy.
Looked showy.
I looked showy. Oh,
yeah.
Dear. This is great. All right.
Thank you, Cindy, for your question.
Andrew Villanueva.
The next question is from Remarkable Sarah. The state of active imaginer. Sarah asks, can you talk about active imaginer as a state? Does active imaginer stop and be still before settling or saying, I'm all right with this? Thank you.
Active imaginer is pretty cool. So it was back in 2014, 2015, we started talking about this. And we've refined it along the way. So we've got states that we can visibly see. Happy loving husband, happy loving teacher, happy loving puppy dad. I have states where I enjoy BMW and Apple products, stuff like that, so on and so forth. Things that make you go boom, right?
Like show tunes, yes.
Like show business, right? Oh, it was so good.
Yes.
Anyway, Heather is here. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Heather.
So, I saw your video about a sock and a ball, and I got a story I got to share with you someday. It's about the imitation boy cat. Someday, poke me for 2 minutes, and we'll talk about the imitation boy cat. You'll love it. It all started with an experiment with the occiput and 2 tennis balls and a sock.
Oh,
it ended with my cat.
Right.
Right. So.
Well, it didn't end with your cat because I ended up collecting 2 tennis balls, putting them in the sock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for you. For us.
For you.
Right.
Yes.
That was good fun.
A few years back. But yes.
Anyway, we appear to digress.
Yes.
So this whole thing of active imaginer, right? So most people are living as passive responses to everything. And Neville says that that the moment you react, that's an imaginal act. That's a seed time. Your reactions are your seed time. And whenever you get that you're an active imaginer, one of the things that happens is you start to pick your states. Now, here's the thing. What's picking your states? You are, as an active imaginer. A lot of people just passively imagine, and they believe that, I don't know what they believe, I'll be honest with you, but I know they experience hell, because it's like they listen to the news, and they can't help but imagine what was in the news for hours. They listen to gossip, they can't keep doing anything but repeating the gossip in their head for hours, and their whole reality glazes over. It's like the sugar on a donut, right, versus like, the crackle on the pork. Tune in for the lunch. So active imaginer to me is one of those absolute first states. The first thing that I really notice is lovely to do is just to stop and be still. Notice you are the stillness, you are the silence. As soon as you stop and be still, then you can start exploring this whole thing as active imaginer, the state of Jesus Christ.
The state from moving from passive to active.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, so you stop and be still. Stop passively imagining, being a reaction to whatever, and then you just notice as an active imaginer. And again, this is something that's really worth giving life to as a state. So, how's that for a beginning, Sarah? Because your states create your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your perceptions, all that good stuff.
The more we talk about states, the more I realise how many states are possible to move
Yeah, there are an infinite number of states.
Which, of course, creation is finished. I get that. But like,
but when you really start to get it,
yeah,
there's such a difference between, well, I know everything. I've been studying Neville for 3 months, and I learned from a guy that studied Neville and everything else, and everything's the same, and I know everything about everything. And it's like, and Neville says they're endless states. Yeah, you're just a fucking robot here.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start to really explore and you get, my God.
Yeah.
You guys are remarkable. We're exploring cloud, arrow, and mountain. Right?
Yes.
Those are states. You guys that have done triple D and that do triple D in the future, we explore the states of serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphin. I always forget the last one.
It's funny, isn't it? And yet you have a massage every week.
Absolutely. And I experience a lot of endorphins.
Yeah.
That's
or
right.
maybe that's why you forget it the first, because it's like, it's the other ones you want to keep incorporating.
Incorporating.
Whereas the endorphins come easy for you. So,
endorphins are easy for me.
Yeah.
Right, I laugh at everything. Don't play hard to get.
Yes.
It is a free world.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
right. Let us continue.
All right. So that was for Remarkable
kids.
Sarah. Thanks for your question,
All
Sarah.
right. Now look, the show's getting better. You see,
we're dropping.
Yes. Yeah, the sun will do something
tomorrow.
All right.
All right. The next question's from Avinash in Manifesting Mastery. States versus thoughts create. Avinash asks, can you talk about states and how they differ from thoughts create? Thank you.
All right. So the state of happy, loving teacher has lots of thoughts about this, Lisa and LaRock. Right? And the state of happy, loving puppy dad is just looking over and watching Emmett enjoy himself with Bruce. Right? The state of happy, loving husband went and saw Josh this morning. Anyway, you see, the thoughts... Go ahead.
The thoughts could create.
Nope.
But you have to move into the state for them to create. Do you get what I mean?
So
you get a random thought about something, and that'd be nice, but unless you move into the state of whatever it is, it will never create. So
as a passive imaginer, we can seem to be random thoughts and nothing happens. Because we're just sort of like, yeah, wouldn't it be like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's a dog. Uh-huh. Anyway, there's pygmies in Africa.
Yeah.
Right. So thoughts are created by states. And Neville says a thought that is not felt, a thought, you must have motor elements. In other words, experience. So the experience of happy, loving teacher has shit worth saying about this. The state of happy, loving, puppy dad just looks at that dog. And he thinks, he just thinks about that dog. I found the other day on the calendar, by the way, he is scheduled for his next appointment, so we don't have to worry about that.
In May.
Yeah. See, happy, loving puppy dad has different thoughts. Now, here's where people get so confused. You watch a car go down the road, right? And unless it's operated by a foreigner, a turn signal will come on, and then they'll swerve in front of you. Right? The turn signal does not turn the car. The turn signal is an option.
Yep.
Thoughts are options. Not every state is a thought. If a baseball's coming at me, I'm going to swing the bat and hit it. I'm probably not going to have a lot of thoughts about, look at that, it is a baseball. It is traveling
right
at,
towards my
a
head.
whole bunch of thoughts
Yeah.
aren't necessary for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, if a bad guy comes at me and I'm holding a 24-inch stick, right? Same thing's going to happen. I'm not going to think. I'm just going to bash, right? And so thoughts thoughts come from the driver. The driver is the state. Okay, so some drivers are courteous in Australia. They use indicators, or what in America you call turn signals. Some aren't, right? Some deserve the end of my stick, right? So thoughts don't create. But by the way, I know why it's popular. We've all watched The Secret, and alliteration is really nice. Thoughts become things, right? It's like beef becomes burgers. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Burger King makes an Impossible Burger that's not made out of anything healthy now, right? And you can do all kind of things with beef, like make brisket or patties or anything. But thoughts don't create. Thoughts are the indicators. If you want to know what state you're in, by the way, notice some of your thoughts, notice your inner conversations. I wouldn't try to change any of that shit directly, though. But we'll get back to that shortly. So, states create thoughts, emotions, behaviors, perceptions. I look at her from Happy Loving Husband and I go, damn. I look at her from the state of Happy Loving Puppy Dog and I say, where's the dog?
Oh, yeah, right.
You got it?
Yeah.
I'm not creating anything.
States create the thought.
States create the thought. Yeah. And that whole thing of like the thought sometimes gets spoken out loud. Sometimes they don't. That prevents people that don't use indicators or turn signals in Australia. Yeah, that allows them to survive, right? But I seem to digress. Ken, welcome to the show.
So that was for Avinash. Thanks very much for your question.
Ken, I'll have to look at your comment. You commented something really good about Triple D and stuff with this thing with Active Imaginer. So, coolio.
Cool.
Feliz Navidad.
The next question's from Ord on Facebook. Do I still have to imagine at night? And Ord asks, if you feel the state of wealth every day, do you still need to imagine it at night, like mentioned in the Feeling It Real Power Pack?
Yeah, this is really cool. So when we started, quote-unquote, dating, we would hold hands a lot, kiss, talk sometimes, stare into each other's eyes.
Talk sometimes.
Right? But here's what's cool. Once you get married, you can skip.
It can all stop.
You can skip all that just for fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's what's really cool. This is a great question. My guess is you're feeling like what you're doing at night is work, or you're trying to push on the same desire again and again and again and again. You're imagining something all the time. You're having wins constantly. What you're imagining is what is producing whatever's showing up in your life. So you can't help but be imagining. So, and for me, the most important times of the day for imagining is when I'm waking up, when I'm falling asleep, because I'm naturally in the state akin to sleep then. So why not clean up a few things from the day?
Use it.
Yeah, why not? Create some anticipation for what's coming later. Always be investing. And the key is, if this isn't work, you get it's fun. And there's the key for me, because if I do this work defined as I do something now for a result later, I just do something now. The echoes and the ripples that come off of it, cool, they benefit us. They bless us, they bless you. But if I just do something now, if I'm imagining the state of happy, loving husband, my biology reacts. My psychology reacts. The state of happy, loving husband doesn't even need her around. And when she shows back up, she's blessed then. When she doesn't show back up, she's still blessed. Because I'm not nagging her trying to figure out where is she.
Because
right?
You're happy, loving
Because I'm
husband.
happy, loving husband.
Yeah, got you.
And from a happy, loving husband, if I feel like calling her, this is always fun. I was just thinking about calling you. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think that's
Cool.
pretty good. So, do you still have to imagine at night? I'd say you get to. Yeah, you get to notice, what's my desire now? What would I, that whole revision thing, turns from bad into good, good into great. The whole imagining up, well, yeah, what would I love to experience tomorrow? Oh, she did really good removing a piece of debris from the dog.
I know.
All right.
She did.
So,
Yeah.
that's rod play.
Excellent.
Cool. Thanks for asking, though. That is fantastic.
Yeah, that was for Ord. Thank you very much for your question. The next question's from Mercy on Facebook.
Mercy.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yes, I'm that predictable.
What
Predictable.
to do with intrusive thoughts? And Mercy asks...
Every now and then when I'm doing shit inside, she doesn't take the hint and shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be doing something important, and she'll be asking me these dumb questions. Like, what do you want to eat? You want to make out? Anyway, so, sorry, Victoria.
What intrusive thoughts?
That's right.
Okay. Right.
Let's try this again.
Mercy asks, I'd like to get people's opinions on intrusive thoughts and how to handle them.
So Mercy asked the question in the group. I pulled it to put it in the show. I'm always interested in what people post on stuff like this because pearlpowerpack.com. Okay, a lot of people believe that there's thoughts out there that have power over you. And if someone else's thoughts or imaginings are more powerful than you, or there's group thoughts, right? I mean, there's all these things. Like, and where do intrusive thoughts come from? Do they come from my subconscious, my unconscious, my superconscious thoughts?
Ego. Yeah,
right?
I know.
Past life thoughts. So here's the thing. Your thoughts are created by your state. When I'm in a state of happy, loving husband.
Yes.
Right? I generally don't have thoughts about swimming. When I'm swimming, I generally don't have thoughts about the puppies. Mm-hmm. Every now and then a thought will show up because I am a happy, loving puppy dad, and that's a state that I enjoy, and I'll let those thoughts do what they do, come and go. Bless me. Maybe I remember, oh, yeah, order some dog chicken, whatever. But, intrusive thoughts, they're yours. So you just get to just notice it. If you don't like your thoughts, you're in a state that you probably don't like. In other words, what you're actually accepting is true right now. So this whole thing with intrusive thoughts, it's not like I have to tell her to shut up whenever she's talking in the background.
Yeah.
We all have an inner her talking in the background. And what it is it's just that we share a life together. And if you can let yourself be entertained versus upset about it, I get to go, oh, she cares enough to ask. Right? So I either stop what I'm doing or I don't, or I say I need 2 minutes or whatever. But this whole thing of intrusive, I find it, again, another fascinating thing because we can, just really, really get, she never intrudes on me. I may be busy, she may be busy.
You yourself have named it intrusive.
Exactly.
Yeah, got you.
And as soon as I do that, the power's out there, then I have to go to war against it, and so on and so forth, but the power's never really out there. So.
Cool. Okay.
That's what I got.
Cool.
By the way, your thoughts, all this other stuff that we've covered so far, it's your identity. It really is your identity. Your identity state determines your identity states. They always determine your activities, your perceptions, what, who, where shows up in your life. It's all you. So, all right.
Cool.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm out of thoughts for that.
All right.
Yes.
So that was for Mercy on Facebook. Thank you very much for your question.
That's right. By the way, going back a little tiny bit, so some people feel that my thoughts intrude on their parade, right? And so they'll email me or private message me or, they'll comment publicly on my YouTube videos that how wrong I am, that people don't have free will and all this other stuff. And it's one of those things where I'm entertained by it. And I also have the chance to imagine lovingly for them because, honest to God, it's like I don't mind saying, right? I have a state called Happy Loving Husband. That state of Happy Loving Husband has thoughts about her. Yeah, some are nifty, some are naughty. They're all enjoyable, right? And I have no problem saying that. On the other hand, there are people that have these how to manifest your special person because they don't have a fucking mind or free will or actually exist courses. And like, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, Victoria stops over and she sees on the table, I've got the printout, how to make that mindless bitch yours. It's like, rightio, not cool. So when you really get, it's all about your states. Your states create your thinking, your states create your experiences, and how I think about her comes from ultimately my state about me. Do I believe I really exist? I do. Do I believe she really exists? I sure do. And with that in mind, the dance begins. So, all right. I thought that was a fun side rant. Lynn.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Welcome to the show.
All right.
Nifty or naughty, says Christina. That's right.
Cool.
And they both involve outfits.
Nifty or naughty.
Yep. There she goes in her nifty outfit.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
And the last question today is from Remarkable Lisa and LaRock. Stillness and simple movements. And Lisa asks, hello, 20 and Victoria.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello. Sometimes there is a natural need which we are called to meet because we live on earth. Yet, even in the stillness, no inspired desire arises, only the sense of relief as the need is met. There is a story about Abraham in Genesis. As he is now an old man, he is determined that his son Isaac be given a wife of his own tribe. The servant is sent in search of this woman. On the journey through a series of mystical events, he is led to her. His response? I, being on the way, the Lord led me to the house of my master's brethren. It seems simple movement in the direction of fulfillment will open a perfect outcome. Please share your wisdom.
You know, for the longest time, so we did, I don't know, 12 years ago, manifestingmasterycourse.com, 2015. We did manifestingtothemax.com. Somewhere between those two, I think we did metamanifesting.com. Yeah, we did that one too.
And then Dream Different Day in
cool little courses.
Or 19, yeah.
And then we did nothing.
Yes.
For like 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
And that's where Dream Driven Day came from. So there was just this, it was like this, it was a vagueness. So like a hunger, hunger is a vagueness. And hunger can turn into a desire for pork belly with the crispy crackle on the top. And so it starts to take form. And so this willingness to like notice a hunger and to even take a simple step in the direction of a meal. Hey, what are you hungry for today? What do we got in the fridge? And it just builds momentum. Yeah, and I find with a lot of things in life that like this whole thing with if you look back 90 days ago at videos of me or photos of me, how much my body has changed. It was these your desires are divine in origin. They all have their own plan and power fulfillment. And as far as I can tell, there's this relief of possession, this relief of ownership, this I want my son to be married to someone from our tribe. Just something simple that shows up, and in the unfoldingness, the specifics all come together. I think one of the number one problems that I notice with people is they want to plan every little step. They want to micromanage things the whole way through, pick all the options, be in all the control. Versus, how simple can we let it be? Can we simply take one step in front of the other? And like the challenges of building an online business, the challenges of moving around the world, the challenges of simply being married. Day-to-day things show up. And what they really are, from what I can tell, they're just opportunities to stretch. And so as a married couple in business together, we have the ability to stretch a little bit every day, to lean forward into what we've chosen, to stretch into it. And just even the desire refines itself.
Yeah, all the need defines itself by becoming a desire. It feels like, because when I was starting to read that, I probably haven't taken on a lot of, always Lisa's questions like that for me, where there's so much depth to it.
It's a depth to them, right?
But I was thinking about, we have basic needs. Like, and it's not even basic, but a need for me is to get the cottage sorted so that we can then start thinking in the next year or two about doing the inside of the house, but have a refuge place, yeah? But it's like that need, it's almost like it flicks a light switch in me and becomes like, but my desire is that it looks this way. Instead of just letting someone go gung-ho, fit it out, do you know what I mean? Fulfilling a need, it's like it gives rise to different desires of how I want it to be. Or
so when the tradie shows up,
sorry.
Yeah, when the tradie shows up, that's not the end.
No,
that's the beginning. So the opportunity for her to like sort of chunk through as things are coming into a planning stage or even an execution phase. Could we do it a little bit differently? The end product becomes more apparent during the process. So she gets she's got a basic need, but the desire that arises from the need, how I want it to look, how I want it to feel.
Exactly.
It evolves. It starts to show up with more clarity versus you could sit in there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out, look for shit online, and you'll drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
Versus when the time's right, we get the tradie in, talk with the tradie a little bit, have some things. You watch a show or find a random website, an idea shows up. Could we try it this way? Now let's do it the other way. And it just chunks forward. So trying to figure it all out, trying to find a burning desire. You know what? We want the cottage done, so that we can use that as home base for a little while.
Yeah, and that's true too, with like trying to find the burning desire. It feels like then you just, and it's almost like if it was me trying to find the burning desire, I'd be stagnant. I could be stagnant for years, waiting for the burning desire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Versus, you know what? So I want my son to be married to a woman from the tribe. All right. Cool. This is what I want. It's time. Time to get the cottage done. So then we can start structuring what are the next steps. So whenever whenever that's ready, all right, here we go. Cool.
And I really like to, because I was thinking about Lisa's question last week with, it's only when we rest in the need and then giving rise to the desires from that need or whatever, that it goes from that anticipation that you was talking about, that mystical anticipation or magical, to the participation. So it's like that then gives rise to that. I love that quote from last week, and it feels a little bit like this. It's like the servant's sense. So it's like the anticipation to the participation.
Well, I didn't put this. There's a common thread going on the LOA by Neville Goddard group right now, and that I notice in a lot of people, one of the things that they do is they get all screwed up in the head about money and work.
Yeah.
And it's because they're trying to figure out what they want to do so they can have that kind of lifestyle kind of thing, versus Yeah, let me ask you a simple question. How would you wake up in the morning if you made great money while doing what you love? And once you start to nail that, like for me personally, that's involved, having automated systems, which have people purchase products. It also has me scheduling one-on-one calls with people, doing group calls, so on and so forth. So I love what we do, quote unquote, for money, but I also love what we do every day, all day. And so, making great money while doing what you love, whatever you do, for us has taken that form. And that allows us to go, rightio, it's not like we're always trading time for dollars. We trade very little time for dollars, but we invest a lot of time, quote unquote, in the business and in the business of life. Basically doing what we do. So while I'm swimming, we can be making money. While I'm talking to someone, I can be making money. Meanwhile, there's a machine that we've put into existence here that blesses people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 3.7, 3.8 million listens of the podcast, which is still horribly low. Almost 2 million views on YouTube. We get the Facebook interactions, all that stuff. But it's not like, how do we make this make money? It's like, radio. This whole thing of making great money while doing what I love.
I'm living the life I love. Yeah.
That invites participation. It's not how to push and make it happen. So, by the way, y'all that want to build businesses, we should do some one-on-one calls, because this is so worth exploring. But meanwhile, how's that, Victoria? What do you reckon?
I reckon that's ace.
Cool.
What do you reckon?
I also look at this whole thing with Lisa's question, going back to identity-based manifesting. What do we want for... So what's the identity here? My son is married to someone from his own tribe. There's an identity here. It's not focusing, in a harsh way. It's focusing in a very identity-based way. This is the identity of our people. So, all right. I'm getting hot and sweaty.
Very cool. I'm getting very hot. So, thank you, Lisa, for your question.
Lisa and LaRock.
Yes, remarkable Lisa and LaRock.
That's right.
And what we'd like to know is tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry beer?
That's right, Victoria.
That is right. So I've got total brain fog, so I'm going to... Well, what I do love is, like you was, identity-based-manifesting.com. It's not a crass commercial. It's because it just always comes down to identity, the state that you're living from or within. It's just, I don't know, fundamental. And also how right near the beginning, how I was getting like, God, there's just so many states. Like the state of active imaginer, like
Yep.
Sarah was talking about. That is a state. So it's like...
That's an identity.
How many states or identities
Yep.
I can shuffle through in probably a moment or stick to in, if I choose. It's like, it's unfathomable.
So next week, I've got a lot of openings in my schedule. And we've got 3 hillbillies showing up to renovate the cottage. Right?
They're lovely guys.
Now, do you think that's a coincidence? Now, I wouldn't mind a few more calls, and I can always do calls from the car or whatever I got to do, right? Like I've got a little hideaway right down the road, a lovely picnic table. I can sit there and do calls if need be.
Look, TP just arrived.
TP, there he is.
See, another hillbilly?
Another
sorry.
hillbilly, right?
Yes.
But it's an interesting thing to me because, where was I going with that?
Well, I don't know. We were talking about identities and stuff, and you were saying
Oh, yeah,
next
got
week
it.
there's so many...
So if my identity was solely based on how many one-on-one calls I can get done in a week,
Yeah.
if my income was based on how many one-on-one calls I could get done in a week, I'd be very anxious about hillbillies and an empty schedule.
Yeah.
On the other hand, right, I can have great fun flirting with the hillbillies. They're a fucking hoot. Right? So it's like, I can stick my nose in there. I can sneak down the road. I can notice, hey, I can tell them, look, guys, I need an hour and a half. I've got Joe Weldon here and somebody else, right? So you got to, don't be like swearing near the house that'll offend Joe Weldon, right? Meanwhile.
Yes.
But it's really, really cool because whenever you get, there are endless states. Endless states. I don't have to freak out because I've got an empty Tuesday or whatever. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Right? Because it's I'll flirt with the hillbillies. I'll go to the pool early. Maybe I'll go get my hairs cut. Yeah, I've done the experiment, by the way. Right? So, see, I think they don't look too bad. I got the hat on, but I got me a hairbrush. Remember a couple of weeks ago I talked. I got a choice to make. I've got free will. It's either going to be a hairbrush or a haircut.
Yes.
The hairbrush was $2. Take me 10 seconds. Right? So it's cheap and quick. Right? I'm into cheap and quick. Yeah, why does he look at me? Anyway, yeah, by far no. Right. On the other hand, yep, hair done. Well, it's beginning to become a hair don't, so we're gonna have to go get a haircut. So that'll be fun. I wonder who I'll meet.
The barber, probably.
Don't know. There's a barber and a hairdresser.
But barber doesn't necessarily mean male or female in this world.
I know.
So it could be.
Yeah,
yes.
but there's a hairdresser and a barber's right next to each other.
Is there?
Yeah.
Where?
Where I go get my massages at.
Oh, in
So that's
the Greensboro.
The Greensboro, right?
Okay.
So I can't. Anyway.
Right.
All right. I guess that's it for the show.
All right.
Yeah, the Greensboro's a ghetto, right? Like
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, I stay on the south side of Greensboro, right? Because once you start walking the main streets,
towards Eltham.
yeah, it's like, oh dear God,
better area.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, so they were our hashtag strawberry bits.
that's right.
While you type in yours.
And identitybasedmanifesting.com.
Yes.
Go there. Look at the list of goodies. All right? So a lot of people go, oh, it makes sense to me. I just got, a bumper sticker, Reddit, all that bullshit. Right? We dive deep into this shit for some reason. Identitybasedmanifesting.com.
Cool.
Meanwhile, Victoria.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That is the rightness everyone said.
TT in the ghetto.
In the ghetto. That's it.
That's right.
All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. And we will see you.